Before we talk about expensive supplements, fancy protein powders, or the latest health trend, let me ask you one simple question. If someone asked you today what the best food is for rebuilding muscle after the age of 60, what would your answer be? Most people would immediately say red meat, chicken, or eggs. After all, we've spent decades believing that the more animal protein we eat, the stronger our muscles become. It sounds logical because that's exactly what many of us have been taught throughout our lives. But what if one of the biggest assumptions about muscle health after 60 isn't as accurate as we once believed? What if there were an inexpensive food costing less than $2 and available in almost every grocery store that researchers have been paying close attention to because it may help older adults rebuild muscle more effectively than red meat? Not slightly better, more efficiently? And no, it's not eggs, chicken, protein shakes, or an expensive supplement advertised all over the internet. It's something simple, familiar, and humble. Chances are your parents and grandparents ate it regularly long before anyone called it a superfood. Today, science is taking a fresh look at it because of its remarkable potential to fight sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle that steals strength, mobility, and independence from millions of people over the age of 60. I want to share the story of Roberto, a 68-year-old patient whose experience completely changed the way he thought about nutrition. When he first came to see me, climbing a single flight of stairs felt almost impossible. His legs trembled with every step, and simply standing up from a chair required assistance. His wife sat beside him with tears in her eyes because the energetic, confident man she had known for decades seemed to be fading away right in front of her. Like many people, Roberto believed he was already doing everything correctly. He ate red meat every single day, steak, beef stew, breaded cutlets, you name it. That had been his routine for years, and for a long time it seemed to work, but something had changed. Month after month, his strength continued to decline. Walking became harder. Everyday tasks demanded more effort. His muscles simply weren't responding the way they once had. I suggested one surprisingly simple change to his diet. At first, he thought I was exaggerating. 8 weeks later, he walked up the stairs to my office without stopping, without shaking, and without asking for help. In today's video, I'm going to reveal exactly which food made that difference, why it may outperform red meat after the age of 60, how to prepare it the right way, and the common mistake that causes many people to lose nearly all of its benefits without even realizing it. Stay with me until the end, because every minute of this discussion could help you preserve years of strength and independence. Before revealing the answer, we need to challenge one of the most widespread beliefs about building muscle. The common idea is simple. If you want stronger muscles, eat more meat. On the surface, it makes perfect sense. Meat contains protein, protein builds muscle. So eating more meat should naturally create more muscle. That reasoning works well when we're younger, but after the age of 60, our bodies no longer operate under the same rules. Medical researchers have understood this for years, even though many people still haven't heard about it. When you were in your 20s or 30s, your digestive system was remarkably efficient. You could eat a steak, break down the protein with ease, absorb the amino acids, and send those nutrients directly to your muscles where they could be used for repair and growth. Your body functioned like a well-tuned machine. As we grow older, however, several important changes take place inside the digestive system. The stomach gradually produces less hydrochloric acid, which is essential for breaking down the protein found in meat. Digestive enzymes become less active, the intestines work more slowly, and the entire digestive process becomes less efficient. The result is surprisingly simple. You may continue eating the exact same steak you've enjoyed your whole life, but your body is no longer able to extract and use as much of its protein. Instead of reaching your muscles where it's needed most, a portion of that protein remains poorly digested, creating gas, bloating, intestinal discomfort, and unnecessary inflammation. And this brings us to one of the most important discoveries for healthy aging. After the age of 60, chronic inflammation becomes one of the greatest enemies of muscle preservation. Even if enough protein reaches your muscles, inflammation can interfere with the body's ability to use it effectively for rebuilding tissue. Imagine trying to build a brick wall while someone beside you keeps knocking down every brick you place. You work hard to build, but the wall never grows because destruction happens just as quickly as construction. That's essentially what chronic inflammation does inside the body. Although red meat offers valuable nutrients, it can also contribute to inflammatory processes in many older adults. What makes this especially concerning is that chronic inflammation usually doesn't announce itself with pain or fever. It often develops quietly over months or years. People simply assume they're getting older, when in reality, a hidden biological process is slowly reducing muscle quality, energy, and mobility. This pattern appears repeatedly in clinical practice. Patients don't necessarily feel sick. They simply notice that every month they become a little weaker, walking becomes a little harder, and everyday activities demand a little more effort. Many assume this decline is unavoidable, but nutrition can influence far more than most people realize. So what is the alternative? The answer surprises almost everyone. It's sardines. Yes, the same inexpensive canned sardines sitting quietly on supermarket shelves. Most people expect to hear about an exotic imported superfood with a complicated name or a costly nutritional supplement. Instead, the answer has been available for generations. Sardines have long been part of family meals across many cultures, especially in modest households where nutritious food had to be affordable. Only recently has modern medicine begun giving this simple food the recognition it deserves. Today, growing scientific interest supports what many families unknowingly practice for years. Sardines may be one of the most complete foods available for adults over 60 who want to maintain or rebuild muscle mass, and their greatest advantage isn't just their low price, it's the extraordinary combination of nutrients packed into every serving. A single can typically provides around 25 grams of high quality protein, nearly matching the protein content found in a chicken breast. But protein alone isn't what makes sardines exceptional. Their real strength lies in everything that comes with that protein. Sardines are naturally rich in omega-3 fatty acids, nutrients widely recognized for their anti-inflammatory properties. While certain dietary choices may contribute to inflammation, omega-3s help reduce it, creating a healthier environment for muscle repair. Think back to the wall building example. Protein gives your body the bricks it needs, but inflammation keeps tearing the wall apart. Sardines not only supply the bricks, they also help remove the obstacle preventing construction from succeeding. That's one of the key reasons researchers have observed that protein from small oily fish, like sardines, is often utilized more efficiently by aging muscles than protein from red meat alone. And surprisingly, this is only the beginning of what this remarkable little fish has to offer. The remarkable thing about sardines is that most people think of them as nothing more than a small, inexpensive fish. They rarely stop to consider what is actually packed inside that tiny can. When you look at its nutritional profile, it becomes clear why healthcare professionals are paying much closer attention to it, especially for adults over the age of 60. Sardines don't simply provide protein, they deliver a complete package of nutrients that work together to support muscles, bones, energy levels, and even heart health. There are 5 major advantages that make sardines stand out from many other protein sources, and the final one surprises almost everyone who learns about it for the first time. The first benefit begins with something called leucine. Many people have never heard of it, yet it plays one of the most important roles in maintaining muscle tissue throughout life. Leucine is an essential amino acid that acts almost like an ignition switch for muscle growth. Simply eating protein isn't always enough. Your muscles also need a signal telling them it's time to repair and rebuild themselves. Leucine provides that signal. Without enough of it, your body may receive protein but fail to use it as efficiently as it could. Sardines naturally contain generous amounts of leucine, allowing every serving to deliver not only the building materials your muscles require, but also the instructions for putting those materials to work. Imagine receiving a shipment of construction supplies along with a complete blueprint showing exactly how everything should be assembled. That's essentially what leucine does inside the body. Many people spend significant amounts of money buying leucine supplements without realizing that one affordable can of sardines already provides a meaningful natural source of this valuable nutrient. The second advantage involves bone health, an area that becomes increasingly important with age. One of the unique features of canned sardines is that the tiny bones become soft enough to eat safely. Instead of throwing them away, you're actually consuming one of nature's richest dietary sources of calcium. That calcium strengthens the very bones supporting the muscles you're trying to rebuild. Strong muscles alone are not enough if the skeletal structure beneath them continues to weaken. It's similar to installing a powerful engine into a vehicle whose frame is already rusted and unstable. Eventually, the structure gives way, regardless of how strong the engine may be. Sardines help strengthen both systems at the same time, supporting healthier muscles while reinforcing the bones that allow those muscles to function properly. The third benefit is vitamin D, another nutrient that becomes increasingly difficult to maintain after the age of 60. As we grow older, the skin produces less vitamin D from sunlight, and the digestive system also becomes less efficient at absorbing it from food. When vitamin D levels fall, calcium absorption suffers, muscles become weaker, and the likelihood of falls increases significantly. Sardines happen to be one of the few natural food sources that contain meaningful amounts of vitamin D. Even a single serving can contribute substantially toward your daily needs. Instead of relying exclusively on supplements, you're receiving this nutrient in a whole food that also supplies protein, healthy fats, and essential minerals all at the same time. The fourth reason sardines deserve attention is something many older adults notice immediately. They're much easier to digest than red meat. Earlier, we discussed how stomach acid and digestive enzymes naturally decline with age. Because sardines have a softer protein structure, the digestive system doesn't have to work nearly as hard to break them down. That means more of the protein is absorbed and reaches the muscles where it can actually be used. Think about the difference between slicing through a ripe banana and trying to cut a thick tree branch using the same dull knife. The goal may be similar, but the amount amount of effort required is completely different. Your digestive system experiences something similar. Processing sardines places far less strain on the body while delivering nutrients in a form that aging muscles can utilize more effectively. The fifth benefit extends well beyond muscle health and may be the most impressive of all. It involves the heart. Many people don't realize that age-related muscle loss and cardiovascular problems often develop side by side. Individuals who lose significant muscle mass after the age of 60 also tend to face a higher risk of heart-related complications. Fortunately, the omega-3 fatty acids found in sardines support much more than muscle recovery. They also help protect blood vessels, encourage healthier cholesterol levels, assist in maintaining normal blood pressure, and contribute to healthy heart rhythm. In other words, while you're eating sardines to improve your strength and mobility, you're also providing valuable support for one of the body's most important organs. One simple food addresses two major concerns that commonly affect older adults, making sardines an unusually efficient addition to a healthy diet. Before we continue, I'd like to ask for a small favor. If you've learned something today that could improve your health or help someone you care about, your support makes a real difference. A simple like, comment, or share tells the platform that this information deserves to reach more people who may be struggling with the same challenges without even realizing there's another option available. Every interaction helps us continue creating practical, science-based content designed to improve quality of life after 60. Thank you sincerely for being here, and now let's move on to one of the most important sections of this entire discussion. Knowing that sardines are nutritious is only the first step. The real results depend on using them correctly. This is where many people unknowingly make mistakes that prevent them from experiencing the full benefits. Information becomes valuable only when it's turned into action. So let's talk about the practical side. The first question is frequency. Eating sardines once every week and expecting dramatic improvement simply isn't realistic. If your goal is supporting muscle recovery after the age of 60, a much more consistent approach is recommended. Consuming sardines at least 3 times each week provides a stronger nutritional foundation, while 4 or even 5 servings may offer even greater support. That may sound like a lot initially, but consider the cost. In most places, a single can costs less than a cup of coffee. 4 cans a week remain remarkably affordable, especially when compared with expensive protein supplements that often provide only 1 or 2 of the nutrients naturally found in sardines. It's difficult to find another food that delivers high-quality protein, omega-3 fats, calcium, vitamin D, and leucine at such a modest price. Timing also plays a role. If your focus is rebuilding muscle, lunchtime is often an ideal opportunity to eat sardines because much of the body's repair work takes place later in the day and during sleep. Providing amino acids several hours beforehand ensures those nutrients are available when muscle recovery becomes most active. There's another important detail that deserves attention, especially if you're physically active. Even if your exercise consists of nothing more than a 20-minute walk, try to eat your sardines within about an hour afterward. During that period, your muscles are especially receptive to nutrients, almost like a dry sponge ready to absorb water. Giving your body high-quality protein during this window allows those rebuilding processes to begin more efficiently. And that's where another simple strategy can make an even bigger difference, because pairing sardines with the right foods dramatically enhances their nutritional impact. That combination is exactly where we'll continue next. One of the easiest ways to increase the benefits of sardines is by pairing them with foods that help your body absorb and use their nutrients more efficiently. Sardines are already incredibly nutritious on their own, but when combined with a few simple ingredients, they become even more effective. A squeeze of fresh lemon is one of the best examples. The vitamin C found in lemon helps improve the absorption of iron, while also complementing the anti-inflammatory effects of the omega-3 fats naturally present in sardines. Nutrition experts often describe this kind of pairing as a synergistic relationship, where the combination produces greater benefits than either food could provide by itself. Instead of 1 + 1 equaling 2, it's more like 1 + 1 = 3. Another excellent companion is sweet potato. Many people trying to eat healthier make the mistake of eliminating carbohydrates almost entirely, believing that less carbohydrate automatically means better health. However, when it comes to preserving and rebuilding muscle, the body still needs an appropriate amount of quality carbohydrates. Sweet potatoes provide slow-digesting carbohydrates that help support the transport of amino acids from the bloodstream into muscle tissue, where they can be used for repair and growth. Think of protein as valuable cargo waiting inside a warehouse. Without transportation, that cargo never reaches its destination. Healthy carbohydrates help move those building blocks to the muscles that need them most. Removing every source of carbohydrate may sound like a disciplined choice, but it can actually reduce the efficiency with which your body uses dietary protein. A balanced meal often produces far better results than focusing on protein alone. Avocado is another outstanding addition to a sardine meal. Its healthy fats help improve the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, especially vitamin D, while adding even more anti-inflammatory compounds to the meal. Together, sardines, avocado, avocado, and a little fresh lemon create a balanced combination that's simple, satisfying, and easy to prepare in almost any kitchen. There's no need for complicated recipes or expensive ingredients. A can of sardines, half of a ripe avocado, a squeeze of lemon juice, and perhaps a pinch of herbs can provide a meal that's both nutritious and practical for everyday life. Sometimes the healthiest choices are also the simplest. Now let's talk about one of the biggest mistakes people make with sardines because it can dramatically reduce many of the very benefits we're trying to achieve. The mistake is frying them. There's no denying that fried sardines are delicious. They develop a crispy texture, a rich flavor, and for many people, they bring back wonderful family memories. But from a nutritional perspective, frying changes the picture considerably. Excessive heat damages a significant portion of the delicate omega-3 fatty acids that make sardines so valuable in the first place. Those healthy fats are one of the primary reasons sardines stand out from many other protein sources. When they're destroyed by high temperatures, the fish loses much of its unique advantage. You're still getting protein, but you've sacrificed one of the nutrients that